So once again, good morning, guys. We'll tackle now an aspect of financial planning. When you talk of financial planning, we have two parts here. It's actually managing of your assets, managing your assets, short-term working capital, and also your long-term assets. Today, we're going to discuss the tools that are required to manage long-term assets. Usually, the property, plant, and equipment, investing in long-term assets. So we have actually discussed this. This is just an extension of what we have discussed so far. So this will not take as long to discuss. We will just expand our discussion. So last time we said that when we analyze a particular project or investment in long-term projects, we use what we call capital budgeting. Okay, so this is different from operating expenditures. Okay, operating expenditures are investments that we make on short-term or even medium-term assets. Inventories and receivables, these are short-term assets. So we have also financial planning for that. Pero when it comes to long-term assets like equipment, property, plant, and equipment, this falls under capital budgeting. So this is financial planning as regards long-term assets. So we already discussed this, although we have not really looked at some of the aspects of capital budgeting. Pero sabi natin, ang capital budgeting, we take a look at the project or projects, and then we analyze whether those projects are feasible or not. Okay, so dalawang klase pag capital budgeting class, dalawang klase yan. Number one is the project can be, the project can be, okay. Okay, independent. Projects can be independent or they can be mutually exclusive. Anong difference nito? Anong difference ng independent projects or mutually exclusive? Okay, pag independent projects, guys, the choice of one does not affect the other. Big sabihin, pwedeng you can choose. Oops, nawala. You can choose more than one project. However, if it's mutually exclusive, sorry, may E dito sa dulo. Pag mutually exclusive, isa lang pipiliin natin. So there are projects like that, no? Naghahanap tayo ng alternatives sa mga options, but we only choose one project. For in mga projects na gano'n, guys, ang tawag sa kanya, mutually exclusive. Pag independent naman, it doesn't matter whether you choose one or more. Okay, in this case, we're dealing with the mutually exclusive projects. So dapat iisa lang pipiliin natin. So we have these two projects, either Y or Z. Ang difference nila, guys, yung isa, mas mataas yung initial cash flow, 1.2 million. Isa naman, 1.8 million. So the question is, how do we which one do you choose, Project Y or Project Z? We already learned how to analyze this with the use of net present value or IRR. No? So tapos titingnan na lang natin yung ibang ways by which we can analyze this. Okay, so let's start with the most important method of all, the net present value. Okay, let's give our okay, once again. Okay, let's give our WAC. This one, lagyan natin ng pangalan to, no? Para we can easily access this. I will call it WAC. Enter. Okay. So again, guys, we know already that we cannot add these cash flows because they belong to different time frames. So the way to go about it is, the long way is to get the get the present values of each. No? So let's do that. So this is equal to, let's put here negative PV. Ano yung rate natin? We can access the WACC. And then the NPER is this one. This is not an annuity, and the future value is this one. Okay, the type ignore because this is not an annuity. Control Enter. All right. So we expected this. Ang present value ng cash flow now is the same. So copy to the right. All right. So let me pause for a while. Notice, guys, that I'm doing this a bit fast. Kasi nga, I'm sure na alam na natin yan. Okay, so let me flash again the formula. And if you have done it, guys, pakichat na lang na yes, so that I know that I'll proceed. I hope maka-majority tayo, guys, ng mag-chat, no? So just one, isa pa lang yung nakaka-chat. Let's wait for the others to chat. Okay. Very good, very good. Let's wait a few more seconds. Okay, thank you. More than 50%, that's good. I hope the others are following. Okay, so yung WACC, it's not highlighted. Albert, what's your, sorry, what do you mean? WACC is not highlighted. What do you mean by it's not highlighted?
Sir, yung sa akin kasi nagre-return siya ng error, #name, ?
Okay, did you give a name? Andali
Wait.
Ito kasi yung nasa ano natin, cell B20, linagyan natin ng pangalan. Tino yung name box. No?
Oh,
were you able to
wait.
follow that process? Sige, lagyan mo muna ng name.
No, I don't think I was.
Kasi pag hindi mo linagyan, hindi mo inassign ng name yung ano, and then you type WACC, mag-error talaga. No?
I see.
Okay.
Meron na, sir.
Okay, sige. Na-miss out mo yung process na yun.
Yeah.
Okay? Good. Thank you, Albert. Thank you. I appreciate the question. Okay, any other questions, guys? No questions? Okay. So you notice, guys, na quick check lang, ano, pag nag-present value tayo, dapat yung mga present values natin mas maliit kaysa yung mga future values niya. They should be lower. Okay. So can we add these cash flows now? Can we add the cash flows? Answer is, okay, thank you, Syra. Can you add the cash flows, guys? Itong mga cash flows na to. Quick answer, guys. Itong nasa row 32 natin. Pwede na ba natin i-add itong mga cash flows na to? Ito. Okay, thank you. How about the rest, guys? Thank you, Syra. Can we add these cash flows? The answer is, okay, yes. No? Tama. Correct. Yes. Bakit? Kasi mga present values na yan. No? Ito hindi natin pwedeng i-add. Ito pwede na natin i-add to kasi we have converted them all into their equivalent present values. So we can now compute for the NPV, yung long cut natin is just the sum of all of this. No? Sinamap lang natin siya. So 159,856. And our decision is that project Y is okay. Project Y is feasible because the net present value is greater than 0. It's positive. We can, of course, we could have done the NPV function, which we learned before. So the function is NPV, okay? However, the rate is again WACC. Oops. Tab, okay? And then values natin, guys, yung NPV function ni Excel, sabi natin, it starts with the future cash flow. So dapat from year 1 lang. But we have to add the initial cash flow. Okay. All right. So you notice that it's the same, no? It's the same. Okay, let's put, bigyan natin ng centavos. Okay. So project Y is feasible. Okay. If this was not, if these were independent projects, then pwede natin sabihin na pwedeng gawin si Y, no? Okay, then let's go to the next one. Okay, we also use the same process. We get the negative, the PV, same WACC, and then enter is this one, okay, comma, no PMT, future value is 1.8. Okay, then we copy this to the right. There. Okay, same formula as above. And then we can now add, actually we can now add these cash flows. And then use the NPV function, NPV, rate is our WACC, comma, our values are your future cash flows. Okay, guys, don't use the present values, yung original cash flows, yung actual cash flows. And then plus the initial investment, we get the same answer. Okay, I'll pause for a while, guys. Pag nagawa nyo na rin si Z, guys, yung lahat ng to, paki-chat na lang ng yes so that I know that you're already able to compute it. Okay, thank you. Thank you, Ariana. Yung iba, guys, paki-chat please kung done na. Okay, very good. Thank you. I hope the rest are following, no? Okay, so let's proceed. Okay, based on NPV, guys, if these projects were independent, sino pipiliin natin? Thank you, thank you. I appreciate the responses. Okay, back to my question. If these were independent projects, Project Y and Project Z, sino yung pipiliin natin? Paki-chat nga, guys. If these were independent projects, which project are we going to choose? Will it be Project Y or Project Z? Okay, yes, Syra, Ariana. Okay, Syra and Ariana have the same answers. Take note, guys, independent, no? Magkaiba yung independent kaysa sa mutually exclusive. So back to my question, if the projects were independent, So which will we choose, Project Y or Project Z? The answer, guys, is pag independent, pwedeng pareho. No? So since both have the same, both projects have NPVs that are positive or higher than zero, then we can choose both of them. Okay, so Project Y and Project Z are both feasible. If they're independent projects, then the company can pursue both of them. Okay, ang nagiging constraint na lang if the company has a budget constraint. Kunyari, ang kaya lang nila 2 million yung budget. So if there's a constraint as far as budget is concerned, then pipiliin natin yung mas malaking NPV, which is in this case Project Z. Okay, so in that case, si Ariana and Zaira, they're correct. No? However, theoretically, pag sinabi na independent yung projects na yan, tapos wala naman sinabing budgetary constraint, then ang rule is choose both. Okay, so wala namang sinabi na may budget tayo na 2 million lang. No? So kung may budget na 2 million, ang pipiliin natin si Project Z. Pero kung may budget na 3 million, then pwede yung dalawang piliin. 1, 2 at saka 1.8, the sum of that is 3 million. So pwede sila. Kung may budgetary constraint na 1.5 naman, okay, kung may budgetary constraint na 1.5, 1.2 lang pwede natin piliin sa Project Y. But in the first place, guys, kung may budgetary constraint na 1.5, bakit pa i-analyze sa Project Z, di ba? So medyo, siyempre, yung question yun, dapat initially kung may budgetary constraint na 1.5, dapat hindi na papasok si Project Z dun sa options. Okay? Is that clear, guys? Paki-chat naman please kung yes. Kung clear ba yung sinabi natin. Na kapag independent yung projects na yan, then pwedeng piliin yung pareho. Unless may budgetary constraints tayo. Okay, good. Thank you. Thank you for that, guys. Yeah, salamat. Now, if they are mutually exclusive, yun na, guys. The choice of one will mean the rejection of the other one. Kasi sabihin natin isang project lang talaga to, no? Tapos pumipili lang tayo. Kunyari, one is, location yung pinag-uusapan natin. One, we're going to set up an outlet. Kunyari, one is in Quezon City, the other one is in Manila. Yung pinagpipilian natin. So, isa lang pipilian natin, isang expansion lang ng outlet. In this case, Project Z will now be the choice based on the higher NPV. But that will beg the question. Siyempre, pwede mas malaki yung NPV function ni NPV ni Z kasi mas mataas yung initial investment natin doon. No? That's a valid reason, di ba? So bakit obviously, guys, kung mas malaki yung in-invest natin, potentially pwede mas malaki yung mga cash flows na babalik. And thus, pwede mas malaki yung NPV. So is there a way, guys, to determine which of these, guys, kung magkaiba yung initial cost nila? There's a way to do that, and we call it the Profitability Index. Okay? So si Profitability Index, ang ginagawa natin dyan, in a sense, parang nino-normalize natin yung yung cash flow. So how do we do that? Okay? So una kukunin natin yung present value ng inflows. And then we divide it by the present value of the outflows. We get the ratio and then we get the index. So let's do this. For Project Y, diba ang sum natin? Okay. Sum lang ng inflows natin. Okay. Actually, we can use the NPV here. So either i-sum up lang natin itong mga present value ng cash inflows, or we can use the NPV function. So it's equal to, gamitin natin NPV. NPV, ang rate natin is WACC. And then ang values natin will be yung future lang. Ito lang. So yan lang, no? And that's actually the same as getting the sum of this one. Yung present values lang ng future cash flows. And they should be the same. Okay, 1359. Okay. Pause muna ako, baka may question. Carl, may question? IRR function. Yung IRR, mamaya natin kukunin, ha? Okay. It's okay, Carl, thank you. All right. So, we said that in the event that they have the different initial investments, then parang hindi yata tamang i-compare yung nila, yung NPV nila kasi magkaiba naman yung initial investment nila eh. Pag pareho initial investment, guys, then walang problem, no? If they have different initial investments, then that's a problem. So let's now get the present value of their outflows. Kukunin ko lang yung positive, guys, ha? I'll just get the positive value. So that's 1, 2, no? Si Project Z din, kinolor code ko siya so that yung Y is brown, yung Z is light blue para kitang-kita natin. Okay, so Project Z naman is equal to ganun din NPV, then you have the WACC, WACC, comma, and then the values, future dapat. Okay, so this is the present value of the cash inflows in the future of project. Oops, sorry. Mali ang lagay. Then this one is, tanggalin ko yung negative. Okay. Now we're ready to compute for the profitability index. Ang profitability index, guys, kinukuha lang natin yung magkano yung present value ng inflows per 1 unit, 1 peso, 1 peso outflow. Okay. Take a look at that, guys. We can use this now, yung profitability index, when the initial investments are different. So magkaiba yung initial investment, di ba? Yung isa 1.2 million, yung isa 1.8 million. So just by basing it on the NPV might not give us, let's say, accurate analysis. Kasi paano kung yung isa 100,000 lang, yung isa 10 million? Di ba? So parang hindi yata tama na i-compare natin yung apples with oranges. So in order to determine whether it should be Project Y or Project Z, we can use the profitability index, no? So dito, kinukuha natin yung ratio ng present value of the inflows over the present value of outflows. So ano ibig sabihin ng 1.13 na to? 1.11133. Ibig sabihin, for every 1 peso of present value of inflows, okay, we invested 1.1 for every 1 peso of initial investment, we had an inflow of 1.133. Ito naman, for every 1 peso of outflow or initial investment, we got a total present value of 1.136. Okay, so based on the profitability index, guys, sino mas okay? Si Project Y or si Project Z? Okay, chat please. Based on that, based on profitability index. Okay, thank you, Marco. Tama, Project Z. Kasi mas mataas yung profitability index niya. Okay, kailan lang natin ginagamit, guys, yung profitability index? Pag magkaiba yung initial investment. Kasi kung magkapareho yan, no? Tapos makuha na natin yung NPV, automatically, kung sino mas malaki, guys, siya yung mas maganda. No? And we don't need to ask to ask whether we should do further analysis kasi magkaiba yung initial investments nila. Kung pareho naman, guys, no need to do profitability index kasi it will definitely be the same as the results of the NPV. Okay, clear yun, guys? Ginagamit lang natin si profitability index if the initial investments are different. Ayaw dito used. If initial investments are different. Okay, I hope that's clear, guys. No? Ginagamit lang natin yung profitability index yan kung magkaiba yung yung initial investment natin, as in this case. If they're the same, no need for the profitability index. Okay, so here we can say that project Z is better. Okay, both in the NPV and in the profitability index. Okay, so any questions so far? Clear ba so far? Pakichat naman please kung clear so far. Okay, I know guys, hindi na tayo masyado mahihirapan dito kasi solid na ang natin eh. Solid yung background natin sa time value of money. No? And I'm happy because pag nag-college na kayo guys, babalikan nyo to. And ako, confident ako na medyo okay yung yung appreciation kasi medyo in-depth naman yung natin dito discussion. Okay, thank you. All right. Now let's go to IRR. Sabi natin, yung internal rate of return, okay, we can easily compute that. Okay, so let's use the IRR function. Ito yung return ng project natin. So values, okay, and ignore the guess. So for project Y, the IRR is 18.23. And then we said before, guys, that the IRR, internal rate of return, is that rate of return where the NPV is equal to 0. So if we get the NPV, if the WACC is 18.23, so here we're going to use 18.23 as our WACC, comma, we're going to use value from the future values, and then plus the initial value. And we expect that the NPV is equal to 0. Okay, so at the IRR, the NPV is equal to 0. So parang yung break even yan, no? Yung si IRR. Okay, so paki-chat guys, please. Then let's number dapat to. Okay, and then let's do the same for the Z. Okay. Paki-chat nga guys kung natapos yun na pareho. You were able to compute for the IRR of Y and the NPV of Y, NPV at IRR. Ibig sabihin, ang rate na gagamitin natin yung IRR. Okay, let's wait for the others, guys. Okay? How about the rest, guys? Sana maka more than 10 tayo na respondents. I'll be happy, guys, kung more than 10 respondents. Ayan, very good, very good. Ayan, okay. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, happy na ako dyan. Ang dami. No? Okay, salamat, guys. Salamat. Yung mga simple na ganyan mga responses, I'm happy with that. No? Kasi ibig sabihin, you're with me here sa discussion natin. Okay, thank you all. Thank you. Check ko muna kung may question. Okay, salamat. Very good, very good. Okay, now, based on IRR, sino mas magandang project? Based on internal rate of return, which project are we going to choose? Remember, these are mutually exclusive projects. No? Isa lang pipiliin natin. Since they are mutually exclusive, we only choose either Y or Z. Yes, correct. Tama, no? Tama. We're going to choose Y. Kasi mas mataas yung IRR ni return ni Y, no? Internal rate of return. Now, there's a conflict now. No? Kasi according to NPV, ang pipiliin natin Z, 244,638. In fact, according to Profitability Index, CZ din. Pero according to IRR, 18.23 yung ni Y, no, yung IRR niya, while Z has 17.39. Okay, so in situations like this, guys, we always use the NPV. So pipiliin natin si NPV kasi nga, okay, may in computing for the IRR, okay, ito yung formula, tingnan nyo, no? May assumption dito na re-invest natin yung cash flow natin using the IRR rate. Okay, so medyo we don't have guys to really understand deeply yung yung how IRR was solved. Pero this is just telling us, diba, cash flow over 1 plus IRR raised to the T. This is the present value to it, diba? This is the formula for getting the present value. This is your discount factor, yung 1 over 1 plus IRR raised to the T. Pero ang ginamit na rate, guys, is not the weighted average cost of capital. Ang ginamit na na rate of return is the IRR itself. So ito parang sinusolve natin so that yung difference ng sum of all inflows minus the outflow, the initial investment, should be equal to 0. Which is, sabi natin, ito yung NPV kasi. Okay, so the IRR, sabi natin, is that rate of return where the NPV, this, guys, is the NPV, diba? The present value of your cash inflows minus the present value of your cash outflow, it's equal to 0. So that's how IRR is being computed. Dapat ang rate of return natin, hindi yung WACC, but rather the IRR itself. So that makes this, guys, theoretically, let's say, inferior compared to NPV. Kasi si NPV, guys, ang ginagamit natin na rate of return, yung WACC, yun. Yun ang kaiba nila. Si NPV, guys, in computing for the NPV, what we're using is the rate of return that's equal to your WACC, which is the correct one. Sa IRR, pag sinolve natin siya, kinukompute natin, ginagawa natin dapat 0 yung NPV, and then ang rate of return niya is the IRR itself. So that's what makes this inferior compared to NPV. So they have come up with another way to compute to determine, guys, and we call it the MIRR, Modified Internal Rate of Return. Dito, guys, ang ginagamit naman, hindi IRR na discount rate. Dito ang ginagamit ang ginagamit dito, guys, is the MIRR itself. Okay, so again, guys, medyo yung mga concepts, no? So dito, since na-compute natin yung IRR, di ba? IRR ni Y, kunin na lang natin. Okay, let me just link it there. So it's 18.23. Now we can solve for MIRR. Okay? So that's modified internal rate of return. So meron si ano yan? Meron si Excel. Returns the internal rate of return for a series of periodic cash flow considering both costs of investment and interest on the investment of cash. Okay? So dito guys, ang ginagamit natin na finance rate, yung WACC, at saka yung reinvestment rate is your, okay? Ang reinvestment rate na gagamitin natin dito, hindi yung IRR, but the WACC itself also. Okay, so let me show these things to you. No? So ang MIRR, okay? So dito guys, so ang values natin will be, let's see, ito ano? Okay, and then what will be our finance rate? Our finance rate will be WACC. Okay, and then our reinvestment rate will also be WACC, parehong WACC. Unlike si IRR guys, na ang reinvestment rate niyan is the IRR itself. Okay, so let's compute for this. All right, it's 15.45. 15.45%. Okay, pause muna ako guys. Okay, pakita ko lang. I'll give you, okay, once you're done with the MIRR, kindly chat guys kung okay na. Okay, very good. Thank you. All right. Thank you so much. No? Okay. So notice guys, magkaiba yung MIRR at saka IRR. The MIRR will be usually lower than your IRR. And let's compute for the NPV. Magkano NPV kung ang gagamitin natin yung MIRR? This one, that will be a rate and then the values plus the initial investment. So that our NPV guys using, gawin natin number to, control 1, number. Okay, so this is the NPV guys at MIRR. Okay, then let's compare this with the IRR ni Z. Let's just copy the IRR of Z. 17.39. Okay. MIRR niya will be equal to MIRR values lahat, no? Finance rate is your WACC. The investment rate is also at your WACC. So parang sa taas lang. Okay, 15.51 and then NPV dito, NPV our rate is the MIRR, comma, the values, future value start, and then plus the present value, initial investment. Control 1, number natin, 2 decimal places. Okay. All right. Sige, I'll give you a few seconds, guys, to do naman to do C. When you're done, guys, paki-chat, no? Para ma-analyze natin. Okay, very good. Thank you. Thank you for the responses. Okay, thank you. Okay, mukha naman walang question, no? Okay. Now, based on MIRR, guys, sino mas okay? Si project Z or Y or Z? 15.45 versus 15.51%. So which project will now be, is the option, assuming they're mutually exclusive? Correct, no? Thank you, Syra. It's not project Z. Di ba? Kasi ang MIRR nito 15.51, ito naman 15.45. In fact, if we check the NPV at MIR, mas malaki yung NPV that we'll get if we use MIRR as the rate of return. So yung MIRR, guys, that's consistent or it agrees with the NPV. Okay, always. Always, si MIRR at saka si NPV, they will give the same result. Okay. Clear so far, guys? Paki-chat nga kung may questions or if none, paki-chat kung clear so far yung ano natin, yung NPV, Profitability Index, IRR, MIRR. Okay, good. Thank you. Okay. Sa exam, guys, sa Wednesday, ang kasama lang hanggang ano kasi na-discuss natin dun sa time value of money, yung NPV at saka IRR. Okay, kasama yon. Pero yung Profitability Index, yung MIRR, pati yung mga susunod pa na discussion, hindi kasama. It will only be NPV and IRR. Sarah, anong no done draft? Okay. Okay. Alright, sa exams, guys, yes, of course. Gamitin yung Excel, In fact, may mga magkaka-questions doon na tatanungin ko kung ano yung formula sa Excel. Yes, definitely, guys, kasi it doesn't make sense na ba't tayo magpo-formula, di ba? Hindi naman natin inano yun. Excel, guys, so make sure your Excel is open. Syempre, kasi andyan naman kayo, pwede nyo gamitin na parang open notes yan. No? Open notes. So I'm sure, guys, sa second exam, reviewin yung diniscuss natin na I'm sure you'll be able to do well sa second exam. Okay, thank you, Erin, for the question. Okay, so let's continue, guys. Okay, payback naman. Sa payback, guys, dalawang klase. No? Payback at saka discounted payback. Okay? Technically, guys, mas maganda yung discounted payback kasi it does not violate. Okay, my question dito. Carl, so no problems po, sir, if we alt-tab to use Excel. Yeah, sure. Of course, guys, you'll be able to use Excel. So parang open notes naman talaga yung nagiging quiz natin lagi kasi wala naman tayo sa classroom, di ba? So it's not a face-to-face thing. So you can use the notes that we work on. No? Okay. But again, guys, hindi kasama tong payback, discounted payback, MIRR, Profitability Index, and kung saan man tayo aabutin ito. No? Okay. Let's go to payback period. Yung payback period lang naman, guys, ang tinatanong dito, how long will it take us to recover the initial investment? No? Gaano katagal? Okay, copy nga natin itong yung year nga pala. Let's copy this. Control C, ilagay natin dito. So ang tanong, ilang years muna natin bago ma-recover itong 1.2 million? So we can do this manually. 420 plus 480, that's 900, plus 320, that's 1220. So by the third year, guys, no? By the third year, recovered na natin yung by the third year, recovered na natin yung initial investment natin na 1.2. Okay, but we need to show that mathematically. So the easiest way to do this is magko-cumulative cash flow tayo. So this is equal to, and the fastest way to do this is sum, okay, and then sum natin to the right, no? Sum, and then if I press colon, guys, notice what happens. If I press colon there, notice na nauulit yung B85, no? Diba? Nauulit yung B85 to B85. So the technique here, guys, is we're going to fix this if i-fix natin yung column, just fix the column kasi i-copy natin siya along the row. So I'm going to fix this, fix the column there. Okay? Okay? So sum of B85 to B85, syempre, yun pa rin yun. Now when I drag this to the right, tingnan nyo guys, no? What happened was 1, 2 plus 420 to 780 na. Then another plus 480, okay, 300 na. No? Ibig sabihin, we keep on adding yung mga succeeding cash flows and then pagdating dito, there, positive na. So that point in time where your cumulative cash flow is already positive, okay, so that's our discount, that's our payback period. So it's between the second and the third year, okay? It's between the second year and the third year. So let's assume that the cash flow is obtained uniformly throughout the period. So ipo-prorate na lang natin. No? Ipo-prorate natin. Okay, so let me explain. No? Paano natin makukuha? So ang payback period natin is 2 years, second year, okay, plus, di ba? Plus what? Ilan pa yung kailangan natin to recover after the second year? How much do we need to recover? By the end of the second year, kailangan pa natin ma-recover yung 300,000, di ba? Okay? So ang gagawin natin, i-ratio natin 300,000 divided by yung cash flow na makukuha natin sa third year, which is 320. Okay? So rin-ratio ko lang. But since this is negative, I'm going to make this positive. So this, okay, that one divided by yung 320. Okay. So ang kailangan natin ma-recover 300,000 out of the 320 which we expect to get on the third year. Okay, bakit ko ginawang negative? Kasi i-add natin yung proportion na yun, no? Yung 300 over 320. Pag hindi ko ginawang negative, negative pa rin to. So mababawasan yung 2. Okay, kasi 2 plus ano to eh, 2 plus. Okay, so enter natin. So it's around 2.94 years bago natin ma-recover yung initial investment natin. Ang tawag dyan guys, payback period. Okay. So pause muna ako, guys. Pause muna ako. And get the cumulative cash flow. We can actually copy this to the right. So paki-chat na lang guys kung okay na both yung cumulative cash flow and the payback. Okay, thank you. Yeah, thank you guys. Thank you. Okay, so we're getting 2.94. So that's our answer. No? Ano yung payback period? How long will it take us to recover yung initial investment natin na 1.2 million? Assuming guys that the cash flow is uniformly obtained throughout the year, then it's around 2.9 years. 2.9 years, almost 3 years. Kasi sa second year guys, ang kulang na lang natin 300,000. Pagdating ng third year, ang makukuha natin 320. So, kinuha natin yung proportion yan. Ang kailangan lang natin 300 out of the 320 para ma-recover natin yung buong investment natin. So, that's 2.94. So, dito rin guys, parehong gagawin natin sa project See? Cumulative sum natin. And then copy this to the right. Okay. Therefore, we see here, guys, that yung turning point natin, inflection point natin is between third year and the fourth year. So kay Project Z, ang payback period natin is 3 years plus, again guys, kunin natin yung negative ng 410 divided by magkano yung cash flow natin sa year 4, 710. Okay, so longer guys. Expected yan kasi mas mataas yung initial investment natin. Kaya ano. So payback period natin for Project Y is 2.94. Payback period natin for Project Z is 3.58. So expectedly, guys, it will take longer for us to recover the initial investment for Project Z because Project Z has a bigger initial investment. Okay, kung pareho yan, guys, if they're the same, kunyari parehong 1, 2, then the project that has the lower payback period, we can say that it has the faster recovery of the initial investment. But we can't say that here kasi nga, yung isa 1.8 yung isa naman 1.2. All we can say is that Project Z takes a longer time to recover the initial investment, 3.58 years, while Project Y naman 2.94 years. Okay, any questions, guys? Pakisabi kung pakichat kung clear so far, guys. Okay, payback. Okay, for this one, so titingnan natin kung saan nagpa-positive na. Ibig sabihin itong positive na to, ibig sabihin in excess na to ng initial investment na 1.2. Itong mga red natin na to, ito yung kailangan pang i-recover. So kinuha natin yung pro-rate natin yung kailangan pa ma-recover divided by how much will be realized or how much will be obtained doon sa succeeding year. Did that answer your question, Albert? Okay, thank you. Good. All right. So, okay, so clear tayo, no? Mas malaki yung yung payback period ni Project Z. Oftentimes, yung iba hindi ginagamit yung payback period kasi nga we cannot actually add yung cash flows na to kasi iba they belong to different time frames. So there's another one which we call the discounted payback. So sa discounted payback, we do not use yung yung cash flows na to, the original cash flows. Rather, what we use is the present value. So let's get the present value of this. Kinuha na natin to kanina. Rate is your WACC, comma, and per is, oops, nasa taas. Ito. PMT wala. Future value is, okay, parang, ano din guys, yung present value lang. In fact, I could have just, lining ko na lang sana dito. Ano? Pwede natin lining na lang dito sa ano. Dito sa present values dito. Okay, anyway, sinolve na lang din natin. Okay. So instead of using the original cash flow, guys, ang gagamitin natin si present values. That's why it's called discounted payback. Ang ginagamit natin yung mga present values. So let's do that. Sum of this colon. Tapos fix natin yung pwede yung una, pwede yung pangalawa. Okay. B96 to B96. And then copy to the right. Okay, so you notice guys na dito, ang payback natin, so this is between the 4th and the 5th year. No? Dito na kasi naging positive yung ano. So our discounted payback will be equal to, so that's the 4th year plus, ilan na lang kailangan ma-recover? Ito, no? This one. Negative, this one, out of the present value na makukuha natin ito. So it's the same. It's the same as before. The only difference is that we're not using the original values. We're using the present values. Okay, so it's 4.2 years. Yung discounted payback ni ano ni Y. How about kay Z? Ililink ko na lang dito guys, ha? Link ko na lang sa present values dito. Kay Z. Okay. So the cumulative is just the sum of using the present values. No? For let. Okay, ito 4th din, no? So this is equal to the 4th year plus, we need to recover this. So I'll just make it positive divided by yung present value dun sa year 5. So 4.5. Okay. Pause ako, guys. If you're done, guys, if you're done with that, kindly chat. If you have questions, paki-chat na rin. Let's wait for the others to respond. Okay, how about the rest, guys? Dalawa pa lang yung nag-chat. Let's give a few more seconds. Okay. Okay, thank you. Thank you, guys. Good. That's good. All right. So let's have a quick review, guys. In this worksheet, ginawa natin, we talked about the different projects, independent projects, or sabi natin mutually exclusive. Mutually exclusive. The difference between them is that yung mutually exclusive, dito. Nawala yung letter Y. Iwan yung letter Y. Okay. Mutually exclusive, sabi natin, guys. These are type. This is when sa project natin, guys. You only choose one, mutually exclusive. So it's in this case, project Y or project Z lang. Pag independent kasi pwedeng pareho yan. So depende na lang sa budget. Okay, so we learned, we all reviewed our NPV, our IRR. Okay, we said that the more powerful, theoretically sound method is the NPV. Okay, so that's why when they conflict, guys, ang ginagamit natin sa NPV. Tapos pag magkaiba, guys, yung initial cash flow, initial investment, it would be good to do a profitability index measure. Kasi chances are, kung mas malaki yung isang project, yung initial investment niyan, baka mas malaki din yung ano niyan, yung net present value. So just to be able to compare both of them, kung how much is the present value per unit of present value ng outflows, then we use the profitability index. Then we learned how to do the MIRR, and we said that the MIRR is consistent with the net present value. Then lastly, guys, we did the payback period. This is the number of years it will take us to recover the initial investment. Dalawang klase siya, payback at saka discounted payback. Mas theoretically sound yung discounted payback, guys, no? Kasi si payback, ina-add lang natin yung cash flows belonging to different time frames, which is technically wrong. No? So si discounted payback, ang ginagamit natin yung mga present values. Okay? So we learned how to cumulate. It's just the sum of that cell with itself first and then copy. Depende kung kanan o pababa yung pag-copy natin. Okay, so saan ginagamit yung payback? Guys, depende kung may policy yung company. Kunyari, may policy yung company na if the discounted payback period is more than 3 years, then reject the project. So ganun yung paggamit ng payback period. So kunyari, ang gusto ng company lang, dapat yung mga projects, dapat ang recovery niyan, ang payback niyan, not to exceed 5 years. Pag more than 5 years na, ayaw na nila yan. So diyan ginagamit yung concept ng payback or discounted payback. So it can be used to determine whether a project will be engaged. No? So depende dun sa policy ng company na number of years dapat bago ma-recover muna yun. Okay, we'll now go to the next one. We have 10 minutes. Okay, next one. Ito, hindi lang to. Okay, let's take a look at this, guys. Projects with unequal lives. So si A, si B, si C, si D, magkakaiba yung ano nila, magkakaiba yung years nila, no? So natural, baka kung mas malaki yung ano, mas marami yung years, baka yun ang piliin natin kasi, di ba, mas maraming cash flows, then there's a tendency na that will have a higher NPV. Okay, so let's compute first. So this is equal to NPV. Ang rate natin is 12%. Okay, we can either wala tayong i-fix o i-fix natin kasi pare-pareho naman 12%. It doesn't matter. And then values natin will be, ang values natin will start with 1. Now, isama na natin itong hanggang 8 dito para pwede natin ma-copy to the right kasi ito hanggang 8 dito eh. Okay, anyway, kung 0 man yan, then ito babasahin ni Excel as parehong 0. So, walang effect yan. Okay, and then, as you know guys, ipa-plus natin itong plus the initial cash flow. So, this is 6693. Okay, let me flash again the formula. NPV din yan, guys. And then, yung rate is 12%. Then yung cash flows natin, sinama na natin yung hanggang year 8. Kasi dito sa D, may year 8 tayo. Para hindi natin ulit-ulitin yung formula. Okay naman yan kasi wala namang value dun sa 7 and 8. Okay, any questions, guys? So, pakichat nga, sino yung project na pipiliin natin? Sino yung project na pipiliin? Project? Can you chat, please? Which project? Is it A, B, C, or D? B. Carl, bakit B? May answer pala dito, no? Si Marco, okay, si Syra, okay, D yung answer nyo. Bakit D, Marco?
Sir, hula ko lang kasi it's the biggest.
Yeah, biggest NPV, no? I think Syra, same answer din, no? D, bakit? Syra?
Sir, same po kay Marco.
And then, okay. Si Carl ba? Sino? Okay. Carl, how about you?
Yes,
Bakit
sir.
B? Bakit kaya B?
Kasi po sir, judging pa lang po doon sa initial investment po, tapos yung lumabas pong cash flow niya po, mataas po siya in terms of doon po sa profit margin po, yung ginawa po
Okay.
kanina.
Okay, thank you, no, Carl? So si Carl, ang sabi niya, maliit lang initial investment and yet yung NPV natin relatively mataas. Okay, so is there a way, guys, to compare this? Is there a way to compare this, tawag natin dito, this cash flows, no? Okay, ang gagawin natin diyan, pag magkakaiba naman yung magkakaiba yung mga project life nila, what we're going to do is we have to annualize it para mako-compare natin. Parang average yearly. So how do we do that? That is done by, okay, so naalala niyo itong 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, what we're going to do is we're going to annualize it. So paano natin ina-annualize? How do we annualize it? Ang gagawin natin, guys, kukunin natin yung present value of 1. Okay, an annuity of 1. So for example, this one, gagawa tayo ng annuity niyan. We'll make an annuity, ordinary annuity, tapos yan, tigoban yan, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. Tapos kukunin natin yung present value niya, APV. Kunin natin yung annuity of 1. Bakit kaya nawawala? Okay? So, and then, i-divide natin siya sa net present value para makuha natin annualized net present value. Okay, so let's do that, no? So present value, no, of interest factor of an annuity of 1. So that's equal to negative PV. Okay, negative PV. Ang rate natin is this one, comma. N per natin, guys, is, what's our N per? Ano N per natin? So magkakaiba sila, di ba? Magkakaiba. So paano kaya? What do we do, guys? Ito, ilang years to? Yung A, 6, di ba? Si B, ang cash flows natin dito, 4 years. Ito, 5 years. Ito, 8 years. Okay, so how do we can use the count function. Okay, sinasabi ko na, guys, kasi medyo hinahabol natin oras, no? Count. Ito, ika-count natin. Hindi natin isasama yung year 0. Otherwise, pag binilang niya to, magiging 9. Okay. Ano yung count? Count, guys, count A. What's count A? Count the number of cells in range that are not empty. Ang bibilangin niya, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 lang. Kahit na hinalight natin hanggang 8. So this will only be 6. Okay, so that will be your N per, comma. It's a PMT of 1, comma, walang future value. Type is ordinary. Okay, so ang sinasabi natin kay Excel, hanapin mo nga yung present value. You have an annuity of 1 for ilang periods? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So hanggang dito yan. Hanggang 6. So we can now copy this to the right. Okay, copy to the right. Okay, sige, let me show again the formula so that you can copy. And once you're done, guys, once you're done, paki-chat nga please kung nakuha na natin annuity. No? Present value of an annuity of 1. Can you chat please kung okay na? Okay. I hope the others are able to follow along, no? Tapos, once this is done, guys, pag okay na to, makukuha natin annualized NPV by dividing. Okay. So this is what's done, guys, when we compare projects that have different time frames. Okay. So first we get the net present value, and then we get the present value of the annuity of 1. Okay. And then we get the annualized net present value by dividing. So here it turns out that project B is the best, no? Ito yung sinabi ni Kurt kanina, na pinoint out niyo yun. Pero this one is not mathematical, no? Pinapakita natin as proof that mathematically mas maganda nga sa project B. Okay, kasi ang annualized net present value niya is 31,448.50. Okay? Any questions, guys? Paki-chat naman, guys, kung clear so far. Okay, thank you. All right. Okay, good. So guys, pag may pag may magkakaibang pag magkakaibang periods, no? We have to annualize, no? Para ma-compare natin yung parang magkano yung yung NPV per year. So lumalabas na project B is best since it has the highest annualized net present value. Okay, it's already almost time, guys. 1 minute na lang yata ako, no? So ito 1 minute lang to yung multiple IRRs. I'll just show you. Okay, multiple IRRs. Yung multiple IRRs, guys, nangyayari yan kung meron kang negative simula, syempre initial cash flow yan. Tapos meron ka pang in the middle or at the last. So if we take a look at this, may negative tayo dito, tapos may negative tayo sa dulo. No? Okay, may negative dito, may negative dito sa dulo. So pag ganyang scenario, o kaya nasa gitna, anywhere, aside from the initial, pag ganyan, guys, usually dalawang IRRs yan. So let me illustrate that very quickly. Okay, so this first is equal to IRR. Values natin, okay. All right. So the first IRR we're getting is 3.91%. Now, sabi ko nga guys, pag may negative din yan, either nasa gitna or nasa dulo, may isa pang IRR yan. So paano natin makikita yun? IRR again, values. Dito pupunta guys yung dito papasok yung guess. Okay, guess. Okay, so mag-define pa tayo ng isang percent na higher than the initial IRR. Kunyari 10%. Let's assume 10%. Guess natin yung pangalawang IRR. Okay, so hindi pa siya, no? Kasi 3.91 pa rin. So tataasan natin to. Let's make it 15%. Let's see. Ayun, nakuha na natin. So this is the other IRR, 30.28%. Guys, may I have one last minute? Tapusin ko lang to. Okay lang ba? Okay, sige. Thank you. Last 1 minute, no? So let's put here, guys. Ito na lang dito. increments of 2 hanggang, lagyan natin hanggang 50%, no? So home, fill, series, columns, step value 2% hanggang 50%. Okay. There. So kunin natin NPV is equal to NPV. Rate natin is this one, no? Comma, values natin is this one. Dapat naka-fix siya. And we're going to copy this going down. So just fix the row. Okay. And then plus the initial cash flow. Fix the row then. Okay. So NPV function lang yan, guys, no? Then copy down. Okay. So let me just quickly illustrate this. If I plot this, insert. Okay, take a look at this, guys. Okay, take a look at this. We call this the NPV profile, no? So ito yung iba't ibang ano natin, iba't ibang WACC natin, no? Notice, guys, na ito, ano to? Ito yung 3.91%, no? Ito yung unang IRR. Di ba sabi natin, the IRR is that rate of return where the NPV is equal to 0. Kasi guys, ito yung NPV natin, no? At this line, yung y-axis natin, 0 yung NPV. And notice, dalawang beses siyang tumama, ano? Dito sa x-axis. Ito yung 30.91%. 30.91%. This one at 32.28%, where the NPV is equal to 0. So 2 times, no? So 2 times. So here we were able to prove graphically that dalawa nga yung ano nito, dalawa yung IRR. Kasi dalawang beses nagkaroon ng NPV is equal to 0. Okay? It's already time, guys. Now next Wednesday, guys, quiz tayo, ha. Tapos ito, kung pwede, guys, ito I hope it's okay with you na ano ko na lang, ha, I'll just provide a recording of this, explain ko kung paano kukunin to, no? Para next week, kasi last week na natin, next week, I'll just discuss yung ano naman yung financial planning and investment, yung last topics natin. Okay? Okay, sige. Okay, sandali, ha. All right, guys, it's already time. So, thank you so much, guys. For those of you who have questions, you may still remain. Pakita ko lang yung formula dito, yung question ni Carl, no? Okay, and then thank you so much, guys, for your patience. Pasensya na medyo nag-extend tayo kasi medyo we're trying to cover yung last topics natin. Okay, so please keep safe, guys. Salamat, and have a nice day ahead. If you have questions, please, you may still remain.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you
Thank you,
all.
sir.
Thank you po, sir.
Thank you guys, ha. Ingat kayo lagi, ingat.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Sir, question po.
Sorry?
Sir, question po.
Yes, sure.
Is there a deadline na po for the financial analysis?
Oo, na-announce natin last time yon, September 17, Friday.
Okay po. I think I missed it.
Oo, next week siya. Next week, Friday. Oo.
Yung paper pa lang po?
Paper at saka ang requirement sa inyo is since wala na tayong time para i-present in class, i-record nyo na lang.
Okay.
So sir, yung output po nun, parang Excel sheet lang po, tulad nung ratio analysis niyo po. Nung
hindi,
lecture.
Excel at saka Word. Kasi siyempre yung analysis nasa Word yon, di ba?
Okay. Bale po,
Oo,
may Word file din po kami doon ng parang
Yes.
interpretations and
Correct.
conclusions.
Correct.
Po.
Oh, yung outline na binigay ko sa inyo, yung, di ba may outline tayong sabi ko susundin natin sa sa formal report, no? And then siyempre
meron
kasama
po,
din
sir.
Sorry?
Saan po siya nakalagay, sir? Yung
Binigay ko yun nung nasa ano natin?
Nasa
C
drive.
drive. Oo, nasa drive.
I can send it na lang sa'yo, Carl.
Sige.
Sir, would it be okay po to like ask for like a sample um
Sample report.
opo.
Kasi, ano ba nangyari? Yung sample report na dati meron ko, nawala yung mga files ko. No? Yun ang problem ko eh. Kasi nasira yung mga files ko dun sa previous na gawa. Kaya naghahanap nga ako, kaso wala akong makita. Kaya I'm really sorry na titingnan ko sa ibang section, sa ibang classes kung meron siyang sample. Pero just strictly follow the outline lang. No?
Okay po.
Sorry
Pero,
ah.
sir,
My apologies talaga. Sino to, Syra?
Yes po.
Sorry, Syra. Talaga, kaya nga, I feel bad na na-corrupt yung mga files ko dati kaya hindi ko na na-recover eh. Kaya otherwise, I would have gladly given you a sample. Lalo yung mga magagandang work. No? Nawala lahat eh.
Okay lang po. Thank you po.
Okay. Thank you, Syra.
Pero
Carl?
sir, okay lang naman po sir na when we're doing the ratio analysis po, we can divide divide po by 10,000s po para equal po yung units po ng mga financial statements. Meron po kasi sir sa amin, yung isang company po namin, specific po yung value niya. Pero yung sa kabila naman po, rounded off po siya. Parang in millions lang po yung values niya sir.
Kung in millions yun, baka hindi audited FS yun. Kasi ang audited FS, hindi sila in millions eh.
Hindi po na po kasi kaming mahanap na unconsolidated. Pero sir, possible po bang makapaggawa ng ratio analysis po ng hindi po ginagamit yung notes? Kasi po sir, hindi po namin alam kung paano po i-treat yung laman ng notes po ng FS nila.
Yung notes is supposed to explain saan yan yung notes kasi ine-explain niya kung ano yung kung information about the Minsan kasi summary lang yung nakalagay dun sa sa balance sheet at saka sa income statement.
Madugo pala yun.
Ha? Kaya dapat dapat ginagawa nyo na, Carl.
Sorry sir, hindi po namin hindi pa po namin nagagawa.
Dapat simulan nyo na kasi baka mabiting kayo sa oras.
Opo sir. Paano po yung yung case analysis po sir? Di ba may
Ano lang yun,
performance
time value of money problems lang yun, kaya walang problema doon.
Kayo po magbibigay ng doon sir ng questions po.
Oo, ako
Kasi
magbibigay
evaluate na po namin.
Hindi ko siya masyadong papahirapin kasi gusto kong focus yun sa financial ratio analysis eh.
Yes po
So
sir.
it will be more application lang ng time value of money.
Okay sir.
Amortization, yan. Pati itong konting capital budgeting, yun lang yun.
Okay po sir. Yung sa quiz po sir, time value and yung dynamic amortization po.
Yes,
Okay.
kasama yung dynamic.
Sir, may na-encounter po kasi akong problem po nung pinapanood ko po yung recording niyo, sir.
Okay? Oo.
Kasi po doon sa una niyo pong recording, yung mga 1 hour long po, hindi niyo na po ni-round off yung mismong number of periods po. Kaya medyo accurate po yung cumulative. Sir, pwede ko po bang i-share screen
Yeah,
po
sure.
para
Sige.
makita ko po?
Sige, sure. Sige.
Okay, sir.
I-co-host kita.
Sige po, sir. Medyo worried po kasi ako kasi sabi niya po gagamitin po natin yung calculator.
Calculator? Hindi.
Yung dynamic,
Excel tayo.
po? Oo nga po, yung dynamic amortization po.
Oo.
Ayun po. Nagabala po kasi ako kasi iba po yung value na lumalabas.
Sige. Yan, ikaw na yung ka. Share mo yung screen mo.
Kita na po ba, sir?
Yes.
Okay. Paano iusog yung Sir, ito po kasi yung yung sinundan ko po yun dun sa 1 hour lecture niyo po. Dito po kasi yung
dun sa total periods, Carl, yan.
Hindi po siya naka-round off.
I-round off na natin yan. Mag-round up na tayo dyan. Kasi pag hindi natin i-round up yan, nagkakaproblema sa cumulative.
Ito po. Wala siyang laman dito.
So dapat meron yan.
Opo. Ito po sana kasi sir yung gusto ko pong i-ask kasi hindi po lumalabas dito. Tapos yung ito po, yung test natin dito, tama po siya, equal po siya dito sa other side po.
Yes, oo.
Pero when it comes po dun sa rounded na po, for example, ayan po. Ay, teka. Teka, gawin ko pong same yung values. Wait lang. Ano na nangyayari? Ito po, sir.
Sige.
Ayan, pag ganyan na naman po, sir, dito po, wala naman pong nagkakaproblema, same pa rin naman po. Pero po dun sa ending, sa last row po, sir, hindi na po, hindi na po equal yung
Oo,
formula
that's
po
correct,
natin
no?
dun sa test natin.
Oo, yung paggagamitin natin rounded, no?
Yes po, sir.
Oo, ang nangyari diyan kasi doon sa natin sa actual, doon sa amortization table natin, hindi natin ginagamit yung rounded, no?
Yes po, sir.
Kasi yan ang basis natin yan is yung nasa kaliwa, no? Kung titingnan mo but in a nutshell, yung cumulative natin, magkakaroon tayo ng konting discrepancy dun sa actual.
Yes po, sir.
Okay, yan ang mangyayari, no? Kasi nga, pag hindi naman natin gawin yung round up, yung last row, hindi natin
Hindi
makukumplit.
naman lalabas.
Hindi lalabas yung last row. So, ang option na lang dyan, either i-round up mo yung isa, tapos medyo magkakaroon ng discrepancy dun sa cumulative interest, or wag gagamitin yung round up, tapos yung sa last row, ifo-formula na lang, isa-sum up na lang.
Parang mamano-manuhin na lang po yung
Imamano
last.
na lang. Kasi nag-error, hindi niya ginagawa. Nagtataka nga ako dun sa kasi I've tried that several times na rin dati, no? So hindi talaga siya so hindi talaga nagkakaroon ng value yung pinakita mo kanina. Ganun talaga nangyayari.
Sir.
Yeah, you're correct. You're correct. Kaya ang ginawa ko na lang so that magkaroon ng value dun sa dulo, renound up na lang natin sa periods, number of periods. But that's a very good observation, Carl. Oo. Matagal ko nang nakita yan. So, ako inano ko na lang for our purpose sa class, renound up na lang natin yung total periods to pay para kompleto yung table natin. Okay, but you're correct, no? Yan, no? Hindi siya di ba? Hindi siya nagkakaroon ng last value. Pag dinagdagan mo yung years niyan, pag dinagdagan natin, baguhin mo yung periods, kunyari. Gawin natin gawin natin yung year fix, yung term natin. Kal gawin mong gawin mong 5 years yung term, yung nasa D. Yan. D9, gawin mo 5.
Ayan po.
Yan. Renound up mo ba yan?
Ito po, naka-round up. Ay,
Hindi naka-round up yan.
59 pa rin po siya. Di ba dapat po, sir, as long as may decimal po, magra-round up na po siya? Teka.
Oo.
Ba't gano'n?
Tingnan mo nga.
Round up and... Tama naman, and per rate BMT. Ayan, tama naman dapat to. Pero
Dapat
same
nag-round.
formula naman, pero hindi siya nagra-round up.
Hindi, pag round up, wala nang
Round
decimal,
down
di ba?
po kasi yata siya kasi less than 5 po yung decimal.
Hindi, pag round up, talagang whole number na yan.
Yes po, sir. Akala ko po dapat magiging 60 na po to kasi ayun po, 59.21 dito. Tapos dito, naging ganyan na lang po siya.
Ano yung value niya pag walang round up?
Teka. Hala? Ibig sabihin, mali yung formula.
58.4. Kasi, hindi siya magkakamali dapat eh. Kasi, pag round up si Excel, inaangit na talaga to the higher integer.
May error po yata ako sa pag-copy ng formula. Kasi ito rin po nag-iiba yung savings eh. Pero sir, ayusin ko na lang po to, sir. Siguro
Sige.
ko na lang i-record.
Tapos chat mo na lang ulit ako if you discuss
Pero sir,
natin.
sa exam po, sir, if ever po na may tanong na kuwari cumulative interest po, sir, ano yun po yung gagamitin naming value? Yung may round up po? bali may discrepancy po, sir, o yung pinaka-accurate as possible po?
Sasabihin ko na lang. Sasabihin ko kung ano yung gagamitin nyo.
Parang round of the total periods ganun po sa question. Sige po, sir. Thank you po, sir. Yun lang po.
Okay. Sige, pag may question lang, Carl, please feel free to PM me, ha?
Yes po, sir.
Okay, sige. Okay. Thank you, guys. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you po.
Okay. Alam, hindi ko pa pala na-end yung recording.